Hi guys, this is George with Troglodyne. If you've ever posted the links from your web application or your website into a chat application or Twitter or Facebook or something that likes to do what's called link unfurling or make a social media card, then this is probably going to be the video for you. The way that all that stuff is actually done is through a number of meta tags inside of the header of your HTML document. You can see right here, basically we have a whole bunch of extra meta besides the description and tags, which most search engines use. And they're specifically these non-standard Twitter and OG tags. That's basically just what Twitter needs to display a card and what Open Graph, which is Facebook's API, to actually display all this stuff correctly in social media. That's the things that actually everything has standardized on rather than any kind of other thing. And it looks like Open Graph is actually winning in that Twitter, if you don't provide the Twitter stuff here in the header, it will still render correctly using the Open Graph stuff. So that's, like it or not, going to be the standard going forward, so that when you paste your link into things, it just automatically unfurls and gives you a good preview. Now, when I was integrating this into TCMS, I just looked at the documentation and wrote up the meta tags myself about halfway through until I started to think, well, gee, there's got to be something on CPAN for this. And well, it turns out, yeah, there is. There's a great little module called HTML SocialMeta. Basically, it looks like it does everything that you need. You feed in all of the various things that you would have been feeding into your template anyways, and you tell it to just go work. Now, there's a couple of things I found while I was actually doing this that, at least on the Open Graph side of things, didn't quite work the way that I expected to, and I had to make a quick little patch to deal with that. So let's get into the code here. Okay, so when we go down here, I've got this build social meta subroutine that's actually building all this stuff and feeding it into social meta. You can see these two lines right here. Basically, the content type is specified for Open Graph as video when it wants a subtype in Facebook. And most of the types of videos that I'm doing with any kind of vlogging or blogging probably should be of the other type based on the documentation on the Open Graph site. So we're going with video other. And then aside from that, we're actually appending a few extra tags in the case that we are video, in that we need to tell it what the content type of the video is correctly for it to render in browsers in the right way. It's kind of academic with regard to Open Graph in that the only content types it supports are Shockwave, Flash, and MP4. I only upload MP4s myself anyways because that's pretty much the web standard. So be aware of that if you're actually trying to upload videos and have them render correctly. The other thing that was a gotcha that I didn't notice until it was very late in the process was take a look, SOPS, the player option here. Uh, the Twitter documentation for this stuff tells you that it needs to be like an iframe based player, essentially. So what I did was I built I made my embed equals 1, basically just load my video element inside of, and that's it. And theoretically that would work based on the documentation for Twitter. But that's not actually right. What Twitter is actually expecting in that field is just the direct path to the actual video. So rather than give an embed like it says it wants, what you really should just do is go ahead and get yourself the direct path to the video, and it will actually render correctly as a Twitter card. Now, to debug when you're doing this, there's a couple of URLs that you'll actually want to check out. There's the sharing debugger with Facebook, which is developers.facebook.com/tools/debug. And then there's the sharing debugger you can click on there, and you basically paste in a link. You hit debug, you scrape it with their indexer, and then it'll tell you all these sorts of things. I noticed the warnings that it actually gave me sometimes were not quite right, in that video other is valid based on the actual definition, and when you paste a new link in and scrape it again, usually that warning's not there. And the same with the image unavailable one. This one is content encoded with deflate, which is what it wants. In fact, all of my CMS's content that is under a meg is now deflate and compressed by default. So that's quite a helpful little thing that it made me do, sped up my pages. And I'm not sure that these warnings are necessarily reliable, but they are useful to tell you about the little things that you're going to need to adjust based on what SocialMeta doesn't do. Like I said, the adjusting my video type and then making sure that everything is exactly the way that they want it. And then the other thing is when you hop into the Twitter card validator, this is sort of what it looks like. If you don't have metadata preload on your videos, it's not going to actually show the background here. What it's just going to show is a black screen, which right now I'm not doing preload because it seems like for a lot of videos, it still just loads the whole thing rather than everything. And I want to cut down on bandwidth for the moment, especially a lot of these different pages I have that, like, for example, if I go here, it's got lots of videos on there, and I don't want someone to just absolutely download everything for no reason. So anyways, that's about it for the topic. I will be back with another video, hopefully, very soon about similar sorts of extensions you can do to your websites and your CMSs. Thanks for watching. Bye.